Fish. Nice.
Oh, he's right there. It was a donkey too. Welcome to this episode of the off season. As some of you know, the off season is kind of our summer videos that we put out. Our TV season is done for season 3. Season 4 will continue in probably winter of 2020, early winter or midwinter. We're not quite sure yet, but our TV season is done for now. These are our summer social media videos. So today we are up in the bush on a lake that is a little bit smaller, about 5 miles by a half mile wide. The goal for today is smallmouth bass. We presume they are pre-spawn, maybe getting into spawning time conditions. We're not sure what the water temp is yet. A little bit more clear water, but we presume these fish are still going to be a little bit pre-spawn. So we are going to be pitching swim baits and tubes, likely for these fish up in the shallows. It's warm and sunny today. It's been really cold lately, so as the day progresses, these fish may move more and more shallow, and maybe we'll see a couple on beds. We're just not sure yet. So we're going to rig up some rods, get the boat in the water, and just kind of putz out into the middle there. We don't really have to run far. It's a pretty small lake. We have it all to ourselves up here in the wilderness. So we are looking forward to today. It's going to be a good one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
So we just dumped the Lund in the water here, trolling across the bay. This lake is super small, tiny little inland lake. Really gin clear. Hopped in the boat, and the first thing I noticed is the water temp's 52 degrees, so these fish will definitely be pre-spawn. They shouldn't be on their beds at all or anything like that. They'll be up on these shallow flats cruising. Definitely gonna be a finesse type day. I think we have perfect conditions, no cloud in the sky, hardly any wind, and we're looking to get into some big smallmouths. I've been here a few times before, and it was pretty good. So hopefully we get into some of these big brown bass and can show you what this lake's all about.
Fish. Good on. Nice. Airtime. Not that big a one, but a good start to the day. It's just nice to get in that rhythm. Oh, are they powerful. Look at that. That there is a smallie on a gorgeous late May day. Oh man, did he eat that. Look at that fish. Not a bad one at all. Heck of a start. To slowly working the tube through these reeds. I know there's bigger potential too. Look at that. Not a bad one. Just a little, about an 1/8 ounce tube jig head and a little green tube. Wasn't more than 5 casts into the day. Nice one.
There's one right there.
Yeah. Got him.
Look at, there's one with him too, Grant. Look at the one with him.
Holy cow.
Oh, these fish are so big. Man, I just flipped that tube to these little isolated reed clumps. There's fish everywhere, and then they're following these bass. And come here. What a fun bite. Come here. Got him. Oh. Look at how pretty that guy is. Wow. Just barely had him in his snout. Yeah, I just flipped this tube. There's all these isolated clumps of like old, it almost looks like bamboo weeds or whatever they call them, and that's what these fish are relating to. They're just swimming these flats, and all of a sudden you flip your tube into some of these little clumps, and that's what you find. That one actually had one following them too. Look how healthy those things are. They get way bigger here too. Let that fish go. So cool. Awesome. That's a rush.
At Hartel's Disposal, we are proud to be your local hauler for over 65 years and 3 generations. Our focus on customer service has allowed us to become the largest locally owned trash and recycling company in the greater Duluth area. Servicing both residential and commercial locations, we have disposal solutions for every need. Trash and recycling containers, dumpsters, and more. We have it all. Looking for a new and exciting career? We are now hiring for multiple positions. Visit us at hartels.com today.
Everyone has their own definition of home. For Dave and Susan Bauer, it's the road. But when a crash and rollover put the brakes on a trip to Florida and stranded the Bauers in the middle of nowhere, they needed to rely on a little help from their friends in the faraway land of West Bend. West Bend issued a check for the damages so quickly that they were able to continue on to Florida in a new truck pulling a brand new trailer, so they could still enjoy their non-refundable place in the sun. Ask your independent agent about putting a silver lining behind wherever it is you call home.
I just got whacked fish. Big one. That's big, Wilson. That's big. That's big. That's a big smallmouth. That's huge. That's a big smallmouth.
Oh yeah.
That's big. That's big, guys. He was up in those weeds. This could have been that one that was following Mike's. I'm gonna net this one, I think. Guys, this is what it's all about. Oh, baby, that's a big one. He just throttled that. I mean, it was just like a walleye on a jig in a plastic, you know? Just that same type of deal. Just pitch it into those weeds, keeping your rod tip off, and just whack. Just with aggression. Look at that, baby. Right there, that's a big, big smallie. That's a big smallie, and you can't even see my tube. Like, it's gone. It's choked. That's getting, I mean, that's a 4-pound fish, I bet, all day long. That's a heck of a fish. Unbelievable. What a riot that is. Wilson just got his big one in the boat. This is even bigger. What a start to what could be an incredible day. That's a tank. We're gonna get a picture of that fish. I mean, just look at the girth on that. I cannot describe how hard that fish hit. There's, you know, through the braided line and on the Avid X, just whack. Whew. That'll get your heart going, man. That's a heck of a fish. We're gonna get her unhooked and back in the water.
Jeez, they fight so hard here. Look at the size of these fish. Look at that tube, gone. Come here, girl. Look at that. That tube is gone. I was actually just like, I cranked my reel really hard because I saw a fish swimming, and when I cranked it and stopped it, my tube must have fell back to the bottom and I just felt a thunk. Look at that. What a beautiful fish. Another nice, beautiful fish. Look at the coloring on them. Tell me that ain't fun when you're in 6 feet of water hammering smallies like that. Oh. See you later. So cool.
Smallie. The back side of those reeds there. Yeah, that's a good smallie. Good smallie. Oh man, that's a tank. That's a heavy fish. Oh, I hope it stays buttoned. That's a big one. That's big. That's, oh, what a rush. We got into a spot here where we got a bunch of pike, and out of nowhere, this big girl eats. That's a good fish, man. Oh, look at that fish. That's a toad. Absolute toad. Look at the width of that fish. That's big. What an adrenaline rush. Kind of getting discouraged. Got like 5-6 pike in a row, and then they just destroy your tubes and, you know, scuff up your leader. You have to retie. I retied. My next cast, bam. Big 4-pounder. That's a good fish. That is just not that long, but just the thickness on that bass is incredible. Incredible. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit here. We've reached about the 1 o'clock hour. It's been fun, you know, constant action. Wow, what a fish. The quality in here is pretty astounding. Not tons of numbers, but the quality is there. I mean, these are heavy, heavy fish. What a bass. That's a big smallie. That's a big, big smallie.
Yep. Oh, this fish is so heavy. Look, he's got one following him too. Got him. Oh, look at the belly on that thing. You think he's eating up for spawn time? I was just throwing a jerkbait there for a little bit, and Grant caught that fish on the tube, and I couldn't resist switching back. And it wasn't 10 minutes, and got another awesome fish. I just can't get over how fat these fish are. Like, look at that thing. White bellies. Such an awesome fish. This is just one of my go-to tubes. It's just a 2.75 inch tube, like a fatty's tube, green pumpkin. Can never go wrong with that, but they just don't want to commit to anything else. They don't want to chase anything. They want something that's slowly being drugged by them, and they hit it so hard. They almost pull the rod right out of your hands.
This lake is kind of an anomaly compared to other lakes in like northern Minnesota, southern Ontario. It has clear water, yet it's very, very shallow. So 7, 8, 9 feet max. So these smallmouth, you know, instead of relating to rocky shorelines, kind of like you'd normally think, you know, it's sporadic weeds. It's these kind of cane beds that are out along shore. They're not cattails by any means. They're just kind of just reeds almost. And wherever we spot these reeds, that's where every single fish has come from today. They're relating to those. That's where your perch is going to be, your bait fish, your other minnows that these bass are eating. They're right next to these clumps of reeds. So again, it's, you know, really clear water, but it's very shallow lake. It's kind of a, you know, you won't really think of a lake like that. So it's kind of unique in that sense, but it has very, very good sized fish in it. We were very happy with what we're seeing today. Not tons of numbers, but our average fish is very, very good. So the wind's picking up a little bit here. It's going to make it a little more tough to fish these tubes, but we may you can increase the weight of your tube if it does get too windy, although you like to stay kind of lightweight. So maybe an 1/8 ounce tube, just maybe shorter cast when this wind does pick up. You just want to maintain a tight line so you can feel those bites, because they do crack it, but you got to be quick on the hook set. So we got some weeds right up here. We're hoping we're going to get one. I don't know, man, that wind is picking up and it's getting harder to fish these tubes.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a change here and pick up some sort of moving bait.
And it's honestly, it's hard to feel a 1/8 or 1/16 ounce jig head in a tube when you're making long casts. That wind blows your line out. We can no longer see the bottom. You know, we got waves coming in, and it's just totally changed our bite. So we're gonna try to change something up. What do you got there? White chatter?
Yeah, white chatterbait. Basically like a swim bait. You just cast it out there and slowly reel it in. It's fairly weedless. I mean, we're not fishing heavy weeds, so just cast it out there and reel it in.
See what happens, huh?
They suck it right in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just our game has totally changed. We're happy with how we've done today, but it would have been nice to see a few more fish. But maybe we can kind of have a third period rally with a more, a larger profile, a larger bait. And again, earlier today it was these subtle tubes, but we got to change up our game plan now.
Got windy on us. I told Grant I gotta change something up. I put the tube down and I picked up this chatterbait. And this fish cracked it. All I was looking for is just a reaction bite. Trying to force these fish to eat something. And look at that. You think he wanted that thing? Such a beautiful fish. It's been such a tough hour here. We're dealing with wind and crazy bugs, and the fish shut off on us. So you gotta keep moving, and patience is the name of the game when it comes to that kind of fishing, when it gets tough on you. I'll let that fish go.
Fish. On the X-Wrap, white X-Wrap. Oh man, that feels big.
We just talked about.
We just switched. That's magic. That is magic, guys. Again, it's just going against what we've known, or what we know, and what we've.
Oh, it's a nice one too.
Kind of what we said today, where more of a subtle approach. But this wind picked up and we have no other choices. There's two big ones. Look at those, Mike. There's two huge ones next to it.
Try to get one?
There's two huge ones next to it. Massive smallmouth. Massive smallmouth, guys. That's a big one. That's a big fish. That's a big fish. Baby. We're gonna get this guy in the boat. Look at this fish. Look at how big the smallmouth is. Look at that, guys. Magic. Magic hour. We thought we were down and out. We're gonna hit, hold on, we gotta hit spot lock. Mike's telling me to hit spot lock. There were two other big fish just like this with it. We thought we were down and out. Our tube game kind of went down the hill once that wind picked up. Wilson switched over to chatterbait. I switched over to white X-Wrap, and bam, big fish. That's a solid 4-pounder all day long. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That is so rewarding. Sometimes you just got to switch and just kind of do what what you have to do on a given day. You just never know what's going to work, but that's a big smallie. Unbelievable. Let's get her back. Fish. A big fish. Good fish. What is it, a pike? No, it's a big smallie. Big smallie. White X-Wrap. Just change it up. Oh. It doesn't end. It doesn't end here, and I got the net from you. Look at that. That's another solid smallmouth. He just cracked it. But again, guys, totally unconventional. Like early season like this, usually you want to be slow moving a bait. We have water temps in the low 50s, but now this wind picked up and it's an aggressive jerkbait, white, and that's 3 fish for me. Wilson's got one on the chatterbait. I mean, it's just magic. Again, it's just trying something different. We're not trying to force the tube pattern we had going earlier just because it's too hard right now with the wind. We're using jerkbaits, and it's big smallies in the boat. That's a good one. back down he goes. Cold water. Cold water. Started at 52 this morning. Now in the afternoon it's 55. Still pre-spawn conditions. No fish on their beds, but they're eating. Well, but I really don't think I can take these bugs anymore. How about you?
No, they're
It's awful.
it's hard to even talk because we can't open our mouths.
It's hard to breathe, hard to talk. That's what you get when you get a spring day when it's sunny all day and things hatch, you know? I mean, it's
Yeah, they've been good all day until
now.
till this last little spot.
But what a day we've had. I mean, started off slow with tubes and definitely put some quality fish in the boat. The average size fish we saw today.
They're huge, yeah. We had a really good day with size for sure. I mean, we didn't catch 50 fish, but
No.
we were up there in the teens for sure, and
Yeah,
it's fun.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's solid 4.5 pound fish. I mean, those are fun to catch, and feeling those hit a tube on a lightweight spinning rod is mind blowing.
Yeah, and then figuring out when it got slow, you know, stayed patient and made the change to switch to a reaction bite
Yep.
with the chatterbait and the jerkbait.
Oh, that was so fun. It was bam, 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 4 fish.
Yeah, that paid off for us huge.
4 fish
It
in a
was-
matter of a half hour.
Yeah, and look at us, like we're getting killed by these bugs, and we don't want to go because
No, it's hard to go. It's hard to go.
we have such a long drive home. I have another drive home after we get back to your place.
Yeah, there's nothing easy about this, but I am glad we came because that's pretty cool to experience early season like this, pre-spawn smallies on a lake such as this with clear water. But yeah, what a fun day we've had. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.